All right, Trapzilla.
Smile, act like you love each other.
What's that video of that little girl?
It's a little... Put that down. Prison bitch. Welcome back to episode 3. Today we're going to be sending stuff out to powder. So we're going to go over what we're taping and kind of tell you guys what you need to tape and not tape, because if powder gets into certain things, they're not going to fit well. So we're going to go over what we got on the table here and kind of help you guys out if you send stuff to powder as well. First thing we're going to go over is the mount. On both sides of the mount, you have this trough here. Okay, all right, where are we at? There we go. Both sides of the trough, you want to put tape in here. These are going to clamp over the bar, so you don't want any powder inside of there. It's going to make it harder to clamp on that bar, so just make sure you tape these off. Most powder coaters will know to tape all of the thread holes, so just make mention to them whenever you do drop it off. Just, you know, you cover your own ass. Shock arm as well. You have this little trough in here. Tape that off. Next, we're going to be moving on to the clip-on bars. Both sides where the two clip-ons go, tape those off, as well as the inside here. This is going to slide over the triple tree. You don't want any powder in there. That's going to cause friction. So go ahead and tape that off. Here's the two pieces that go on those billet bars. Each of the insides are going to be taped off, as well as there is thread holes on both sides. So just make sure, again, just let them know, tape those off. You don't want any sort of powder in there. Here's the dry face. This is the front. This is the back. Tape off the back. This is where the belt is going to go. If you have any sort of powder on here, it's going to cause friction. It's going to mess things up. Just make sure there's nothing on there. The front, perfectly fine. Powder coat it. You'll have no issues. There is a thread in here. Let's see if the camera can pick it up. No powder in there. So make sure you tell them, tape this off, or you're going to have a real problem sliding this in and out of that shaft. We have the password gas cap. If you do end up picking the raw one up and powder coating it, you'll have to tape off this inside lip here, as well as there's little tiny bolt holes along the sides of these. So just make mention to him or her not to spray inside of that. Here's both your intakes. You want nothing on the insides of these. These are going to go obviously to where your motor's going. Anything like that is going to damage the motor. So tape everything off, all the bolt holes, only have the outsides. This is for both of them. This one has a little barb fitting. Tape the barb off, pull the silicone boot out, just send the piece itself. I'm going to be moving down the table down here and showing you guys some of the other parts we got going as well. And now Savannah's going to be going over the rest of the parts that we got here and letting you guys know what needs to be taped off and what else we're sending.
All right, next up, we're going to be doing the clutch bell, taping off the inside and the center hole. Again, you don't want powder in it so that everything runs smoothly. You've got this COSO mount. There's nothing that needs to get taped, just full powder. All right, next we're going to be taping off this triple tree. You want to tape off this whole section so that this could go into your frame easy. We've got the door seat frames, and I call them little triangle pieces. These are just getting powdered. You don't have to tape anything except for the holes. Here we have a tire hugger. Again, this thing's just going to get powdered, and your powder coater, he or she, should know to tape off the bolt holes. We're also doing Rockstar side steps. Nothing needs to get taped off for these. Here we're doing Super Mesh GY6 wheels. This will come with a hubcap if you order it from us. Once we get them back from our powder coat, we're going to be siliconing the welds, so no air leaks and this is also going to get gloss black.
And if you do get these wheels from us, ours are already going to have silicone inside of them. Just make sure you get the silicone off before sending them to powder. It will kind of have like a weird effect when they try to powder it. It's going to make kind of like a spackle. It's all going to get over the place and the powder is not going to stick very well. So just make sure you take all the silicone off, acetone it, clean the surface really well before you send it off to powder.
We also do sell these in black, so you can get them on our website if we have them in stock. And then this bad boy, we're going to get Cerakoted. So we're going to tape off everything that's carbon fiber and Cerakote this part, the emblem, as well as the tip. Just the tip.
Emphasis on just the tip. We're going to do the gas tank cover as well. We do sell it in black, so if you guys just want a black one, just go on the website, pick that up. We also have it in white, but if you choose to do a different color, do roll. Nothing you need to tape on it. It can go just as is.
And then we've got this front frame guard that we are sending as well. Everything gets powdered. And what else do we have, Dakota?
This will have a spacer inside of the kit, this frame guard here. No need to tape or send that spacer off to powder. It's going to be behind it, so you won't really see it. It's kind of pointless. We do have a bag of spacers and other, misc items. You have shock spacers in here. We have the rear set spacers and the half moons for all the mounts. So just keep them in a separate bag so they don't lose them. Some of these things are really small, such as these spacers here for the shock arm. I mean, that's no bigger than your thumb. So just make sure you put them in a bag so nobody loses them and you have everything when it comes back.
And then this is going to be for the GY6 stretch kit mount. Everything here is going to get powdered, the nameplate, and then the two laser pieces, the T-bracket. Nothing you have to tape off on this either.
You won't have to tape anything off on your handlebars. Just make sure that they do, like I said, tape off the insides of this. These bars slide inside of here. So if this is, too tight or full of powder, you're going to scratch these bars up trying to get them back inside of there. So I can't emphasize that enough. Do not get powder inside of these, or these are not going to slide well and you're going to have a real headache. You're going to have to Dremel things out and it's just not going to be a fun time. We're going to go ahead and clear off our table, pack things up, and pull the two frames over here and show you guys what we're doing with those as well. Here's the frame. We're going to be going over the front frame first, and then we'll do the rear frame. Starting with the stem neck here. Tape all this off. Tape the race off. You don't want no powder inside of here. The stem neck is going into the shaft here. Any sort of powder coating in there is going to cause friction when you're trying to turn. We did tape off this one little bolt hole right here. I guess you could if you wanted to tape off all the bolt holes, but you really only just need that one that's right there. If you don't tape it, you just have to kind of grind it down a little bit, but that shouldn't really be an issue. It's a little Dremel. Make sure you get the bottom race. All right, dirt's falling out. Make sure you have them sandblast your frame. As you can hear, it sounds like just mud pouring out of there. I think it's fine. Tape off all down here. There's a race here as well. Make sure you get the race taped off. And then on this side of the frame, you're going to have your VIN number. Don't cover it up. Have them tape it. You have a sticker, and then you have the physical VIN that's stamped into the frame. You could take the sticker off if you want, or have them powder it. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure you keep the real one that's stamped in the frame. So if they pull you over for some reason, or they need to find your bike, it's still there. I'm gonna go ahead and bring the rear frame over here and probably clean off my table because now it's dirty. Here's the rear frame. We went over it in the last video with Bert on what he's cutting off. So if you want, you can go back, check out what we cut off. I'm gonna go over it again as well, just so we can have all bases covered before we send it. There's two little nuts that are on the end. Pause. Go ahead and grind those off. You don't need them. Here is where your mount is going to sit. This is what I was talking about before when we were talking about things we're setting to powder. They clamp onto this bar. So this is already going to have powder coat on it. If you powder coat both things, it's going to be a pain to clip on it. So make sure this is the only thing getting powdered and not the troughs on the other stuff. You have 2 tabs here. You can keep these. This is for the ghost cover. If you don't plan on running the ghost cover, you can take these off. You don't really need them, but keep them if you plan on having that. Here's the top of the frame. As you can tell, all this is all grinded down, nice and smooth. And I think you should be good as well. Here's a tail light. If you plan on keeping like the stock tail light or anything like that, no need to shave it. Obviously, if you're going for a cleaner look, cut it down. It is pretty difficult, so make sure you don't dig into this frame here. Otherwise, you're gonna have a real issue. So that's gonna be that. And we're gonna go ahead and send things off to powder. We plan to have, this bike together soon. Didn't mean to say that part. Was that like that in that whole last film? Dang, it was like this? Are you for real? On this one?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna have to see the audio and see. It should be good, but
It's not about the audio. You look like a doof when your shirt sits like that.
you don't see. I only saw your hands.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You're gonna have to flush it.
Am I allowed to cuss in this?
You already did.
Yeah.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't think we'll get him out. He can bleep it.
I'll try not to. Okay.
I mean, it adds humor to it.
We're going to be closing out the video now. Just one last thing before we go. Your gas tank. You can either paint it or powder it. We painted ours. Just gloss black, nice and simple. If you do powder it, be careful. Okay. You don't want them to powder it. They make little, acorn dusts. So if that gets inside of your tank, you're going to have an issue. It's going to go inside of your fuel. We don't want that. See, don't want that. So I'd probably just paint it. It's easy. I mean, paint's like what? A couple bucks at Walmart. Save you some money anyways.
You have to be 18 plus to get spray paint though, so.
That you do. So we're going to go ahead and start getting to the next video. We're going to be painting the motor and showing you guys what we tape off there and what paint and stuff we use in prepping the motor. We'll catch you guys next time.